Good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the Nilecast on Westnile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Okumuringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, National Unity Platform Fraternity prepares to host Robert Chagulani in Arua City. Moyo district leaders address increasing gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy cases. And UNRA finally opens Katonga Bridge to buses. This and more in the Nilecast News Bulletin. And you're most welcome to the Nilecast on Westnile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. Arua City stakeholders are blaming the parents for their poor parenting that has led to the trending criminality cases of the street children, as the boy child is regrettably identified as the biggest culprit of crime-related cases in the city. Frederick Dramadri has more.
Stakeholders blame parents for the trend in cases of children coming on the streets with the associated activities in Arua City attributed to poor parenting. On the streets of Arua Town, cases of street children engaging in criminal activities continues to ravage as the boy child is regrettably identified as the biggest culprit. As of 5th July 2023, Arua Regional Remand Home registered a total of 101 children remanded under various offences, with Arua District and Arua City cumulatively recording 48 cases, followed by Yumbe District with 13 cases, Koboko with 11, while the list of the districts in the region include Moyo and Madiokolo that registered 1 case each. On the other hand, no girl was remanded. But the major crimes noted to have been committed by these children include theft, defilement, aggravated robbery, rape, among others. Emily Bako, an assistant probation and welfare officer at Arua Regional Remand Home, explains that many children, especially the boys, have come in conflict with the law, and lack of empowerment for the boy child worsens the situation.
Because many times there are people who think that these are problem children. Some, they are not wanted. So when these children are here with us, we know that these children have potential. Like if we can start skilling them right now, they can become better citizens. Like we have leaders here, we have doctors here. So it is us to join hands to make sure that we skill up these children. Ivan Shukuru, the LC1 chairperson of Upper BBS cell, noted with concern that the criminalities among children is currently overwhelming.
The rate of criminality caused by children in the town, in fact, it is going very high. You go to Lobeda Market, it is high. That is the highest area of criminality. Because, I mean, you know, only for children. They can come and even they can pick these cameras of years they go. This is where the problem, the issue is. The
escalating crimes committed by children has prompted the Arua Central Division to enact a bylaw dubbed the Child Abuse and Exploitation Act 2023 to tackle the various issues of parental responsibility and the welfare of the children, with the support from FIDA Uganda. Fred Ababo, the lawyer and the consultant who presented the contents of the law, reveals that once the bylaw is just blessed by Arua City Council, it will help to curtail cases of street children roaming in the city center.
So now, there is legally you cannot charge these children. So the best you can only do is to charge their parent, you get it, or their guardian. Now, how do you reach their guardian? You reach them through Section 7, which gives them powers to look after their children. So meaning if they are to look after their children and they're releasing these children to go and they do these businesses that exposes them to exploitation, now you need to punish them. You get that point. By punishing them, you are now putting them responsibility to take these children back homes.
The major areas donned with criminalities in Arua City have been identified as P7, Gaga Club, Hawker Lane, among others. Frederick Tamadri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. Preparations are in high gear as a National Unity Platform fraternity await the visit of the party president Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is set to visit the region on the 13th of September 2023 and is set to speak to the region at the Arua Primary School grounds in Arua City to conclude the first phase of his nationwide tour. The purpose of the National Unity Platform party president's visit to the region is to create grounds for the party to have early preparations ahead of the 2026 general elections. Farish Majid has more.
The National Unity Platform party leaders in Arua City are in high gear preparations ahead of the visit of the party president, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, commonly known as Bobby Wine, to the region on the 13th of September this month as he concludes the first phase of his nationwide tour. Kyagulanyi started his nationwide tour to mobilize the masses in the post-election period as mandated by the Electoral Commission from the western city of Mbarara before heading to the other districts of the region so as to prepare for the next elections. He will be escorted by an entourage of party leaders and supporters from the various places across the nation, where he is also expected to address the region on one of the radio stations in Arua City and at Arua Primary School grounds. Asega Abib Jogo, the Northern Region Coordinator of the party, says the visit is to create grounds for the party to have early preparations ahead of the 2026 general elections.
What do we expect of this visit? Number one, the president's visit here, aware that after the election, the general election, he was not allowed to move to meet his people. But now that the Electoral Commission has given, has produced a electoral roadmap, it is an opportunity for him to move, one, to thank his voters. He was last year for general campaign, and he's going here, he has to come and thank physically his people, the votes he gave. You are aware that he won the election, so he has to come and thank his people. Two, it is a wake-up call for our members, our supporters, not only members of National Platform, but a wake-up call for change-seeking people, even those in NRM. There are those in NRM who are seeing things not moving right. They need change to happen. So it's a wake-up call for all of us. So why wake-up call, and for what reason? That wake-up call is going to ease the work of these comrades of ours of mobilization, registering people into party, that will lead to finalization of structure building in the country. Preparation for the general election. So at this juncture, this is what we think the expectation we have. Our expectation of this visit is an opportunity for the principal to prepare, an opportunity for the party to prepare as early as possible. Aware that last election, there was no time for preparation. As people were thinking, remember we had a lot of issues, court issues. As you think of preparing, there's court issues. As you think of preparing, there's this issue. So we are preparing. Expectation we are having is that today, this visit is going to be give us a way through to the last day of election. That when we start preparing now, by the time of election, we shall be very ready, and we shall protect our votes, we shall protect our result, and we shall have a new Uganda that works for all. I thank you. Maybe members have got something to add.
Ali Raj Atendele, the chairperson NUP Arua City, says there is a lot they will discuss with the party president.
About how we have prepared to see the principal. You know, when the party started, it started rapidly, and there are no committees like you give a bath to a baby, and the baby, you know how a baby grows. And protecting the baby is not an easy thing. The time has passed now. Now we have started organizing ourselves. We want the parties to stand very strong, and what we are coming to ask him is still there. We're asking some questions, because when he came here and he left up dead, he haven't come back. And I cannot give you the answer right now, as for now, because we are going to sit down in the committees to organize what we are going to tell the principal. It's not me alone, we are going to sit together with the committees. Thank you.
Allen Dan Isaac, Chairman NUP Arua Central Division, welcomes all the party members to the identified venue.
Allen Dan Isaac, Chairman NUP Arua Central. Mostly I would like to welcome all our supporters from 13th to welcome His Excellency President Kyagulanyi, People's President, for the new Uganda on 13th. All are welcome to Arua Primary School grounds. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Letty Offers, one of the organizers preparing to receive Robert Kyagulanyi, gave a stern warning to those who intend to disorganize the function.
We want to warn those who are in other parties who have bad heart, so that they want to come and cause problems for us. We shall be the first people to arrest you and hand over you to police, and your issue will be solved later. We want the pressmen to come around, and they should have peace. We don't want where pressmen are beaten in other parts of the country. Intimidation, no. We shall let the police always liaise with us. We shall have our numbers with the police. Any problem, they should ask us, the organizers, and we want to prove to the world that we are peaceful people. Like yesterday, Bobby Wine was in Mayuga, and he had a press conference in Kampala. It is there on social media, warning people of hooliganism, snatching somebody's phone, snatching somebody's property. So we welcome everyone on Wednesday early morning. Thank you. We shall let you know the programs that will.
Police on Monday passed a warning to the National Unity Platform Party president for defying the agreed upon rules and regulations, where police says the team has been operating outside the framework. Farish Majid, Westnile TV Nalkas.
And more in our stories, Moyo district leaders held an engagement with several stakeholders from the 7 sub-counties and 3 town councils at the People's Hall in Moyo Town Council to address the increasing number of gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy cases in order to find remedies to the vice. Okumu Dominic has more.
The stakeholders in Moyo district are engaged on gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy by the district health department in dissemination workshop which took place at the People's Hall in Moyo Town Council. The meeting brought in various stakeholders from the 7 sub-counties and 3 town councils in the district to discuss the statistics of gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy in the district and find remedies to the vice that is so alarming. Honorable Batio Joyce Udu, the Secretary for Gender and Social Services and also doubles as the Secretary for Health, Moyo District Local Government, disagrees with the Health Department on encouraging teenage girls to have access to contraceptives.
Encourage our girls to embrace family planning, because when you take the meaning, if you look at critically what a family means, you must plan for a family when you are married, or maybe you have children that you can plan for. But a girl from the age of 13 to 19 to be encouraged to consume family planning drugs is a little bit, for us especially for mothers, it doesn't go well with us. Because one, when we are encouraging these girls to take family planning, we should also not forget the impact, because family planning intake does not stop them from getting sexual transmitted diseases. So meaning, when we are advising our girls, we should not only focus on advising them to take family planning, but also to train them in how to abstain from sex.
Honorable Isadru Peter, the youth chairperson Moyo district, urged the district leaders to engage the youth at the grassroots level if they want to avert the issue of rampant teenage pregnancy in the district.
Inside here, we have a few youths, we have elders, And these are the issues which are what affect the youth. My request is we have youth leaders at the sub-county level. When these things are happening, when these type of meetings are happening, they need to be involved more so that we are able to cascade this thing at the district level, because our structure runs from village level up to district level. But right now I'm alone here at the district chairperson, and the rest are elders. So how can the information go there? So two, I am talking about faithfulness. When you take this time around, our young girls go for married people. And I'm calling upon those who are married also to respect themselves. Because of this marriage, our young girls are suffering a lot. You are married, you have your wife there, but you go for what? These young girls. You go in the clubs, you get big people who are what owning this type of girls. You also do clubbing.
Honorable Andu Richard Opeli, the Vice Chairman, Moyo District, blamed the adoption of the foreign culture for the increase in teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence, and urged the people to get back to their cultural norms.
We have forgotten our culture. As we have forgotten that GBV and this teenage all because of this, because of ignorance of our culture. In the past, with this age, I witnessed a number of things. A girl who misbehaves by getting pregnant early without the knowledge of the home people, the parents, that girl will die. It used to be like that. That girl will die. A woman who is a witch will not survive in that home. If you're a poisoner, you won't survive in that home. You have to die. You'll be cast. But unfortunately, these things are no longer there because of religion. I don't know.
Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner Moyo, urged the leaders to be diverse in looking out on factors influencing the high rate of teenage pregnancy and gender-based violence instead of narrowing their mind on one or two factors.
As a district, my humble advice would be that as you make bills, as you make laws, don't be too much on the laws, because some of these things are issues of society growth. You just have to try to find a way of dealing with them. Otherwise, you're making bills everywhere, and there will be too many and you can't even implement them. What is the percentage of those matters which are handled at police compared to the real problem? A leader should not look at one item and amplify on it and it becomes an issue. A leader should look holistically. How many of those cases have died here at police in terms of percentage? It may be one prominent case or two or three. But the real problem is bigger than that one. And the people who come to negotiate the police, who are they? Is it not the home people who come? So the problem is bigger than if we denied them from coming to negotiate, would they be negotiating? So, as leaders, it's very wrong if you run on one side, you miss the bigger point. This does not mean that they are not negotiating. I've received those complaints and it is very wrong. To negotiate a crime is a crime. We have to deal with it. But the bigger issue that the matter is beyond. We need to look at it holistically so that we understand how.
Gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy are still high in the district, especially in the rural areas, which is being attributed to poverty, child marriage, lack of parental guidance, and low level of education, among others, that has made most of the teenage girls become vulnerable to the vice. According to the findings by the Health Department, Dufele Sub-County leads in teenage pregnancy in the district with 22%, followed by Lefori Sub-County with 18% and Aluru Sub-County with 15%. But in the overall rating in the country, Moyo District rates among the top 10 districts in Uganda in gender-based violence and teenage pregnancy, which calls for concerted effort among the different stakeholders in fighting these issues. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumo for Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, the Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, has announced that River Katonga Bridge along Kampala Massacre Road is now open to buses. Since May, buses have not been permitted to cross the Katonga section as UNRA had embarked on fixing the bridge, which collapsed due to river floods. However, in a statement issued on Monday, UNRA said that the buses have now been added to the light vehicles category and can now cross the bridge. All road users have been urged to follow the signage in place and all traffic guidelines established at a safe approach distance to the bridge. And more in our stories, a sense of fear swept through the bustling streets of Natete as the police bomb squad uncovered yet another suspected improvised explosive device at Mabito Business Center. The tranquility of Natete was shattered when police officers cornered off Mabito Business Center, sealing its fate for the day. A heavy deployment of both police and UPDF personnel quickly swarmed the area, leaving no room for speculation regarding the seriousness of the situation. The ramifications of the discovery rippled through Natete, affecting businesses in the area profoundly.
Viewers, my name is Oraku Benson Pastor, and thank you for watching Westnile TV and following the program of NILEcast, and it's now the segment of sports news. In one of the stories we have got for you today, Simon Okot has joined a newly promoted FUFA Big League side Simbali Heroes from Adjuman Town Council. Adjuman Town Council Football Club was relegated last season to Westnile Regional League. It's not the first of its kind. We are seeing him playing in the StarTimes FUFA Big League. Previously, he also played for Ontoparka Football Club when they were still in StarTimes Uganda Premier League, and he has also featured for a team in the names of Kataka. Away from that story, Andre Onana, the custodian for Manchester United, has finally reunited with Cameroon national team. Last year in the Men's World Cup, this player was disciplined by the head coach of Cameroon because of indiscipline cases, and he did not finish playing the games for Cameroon by then. Since then, he has not featured for any game for Cameroon national team, and the next encounter for Cameroon is in the AFCON qualifiers, a game up against Burundi, a tense game whereby the team that wins it shall proceed to the group stages of the AFCON 2023 that shall be hosted by Ivory Coast. It's called AFCON 2023, but it will be played next year in Ivory Coast. Away from that story, finalizing it with what is happening in the world of transfer, some of the countries, some of the leagues, they are still proceeding on how, in fact, they are still proceeding with their transfer business. And two players from Tottenham Hotspur have already confirmed their departure to Galatasaray, a team that plays in Turkey Super League. One of the players is Davinson Sanchez, a Colombian whom Spurs signed from Ajax Amsterdam way back in 2017, and he has spent 6 years with the London-based club. And this season he's yet to feature for the club, that's Spurs. in the games that they have already played in the English Premier League. Another player that has already left the club is Tongwai Ndembele, and he has also joined the same club, that's Galatasaray. And the last 3 seasons he has always been on loan, and last season he was on loan at his former club, that's Olympic Lyon. He joined Spurs way back in 2019, and it was a record fee of £55 million. Finalizing it with what is coming from the other side of Saudi Pro League, as the team, that's Al Ittihad, has already tabled £200 million in order to lure the services of Mohamed Salah from the team of Liverpool. The transfer window in Saudi Pro League will close on Thursday. That means we are only a day, that's tomorrow, for the transfer window to close. In case the deal happens to go through, Salah will become the most expensive footballer. And he has played for a number of European clubs, including Basel of Switzerland, and he also played for the team of Chelsea before moving to Fiorentina on loan, and also featured for Estadio di Olimpico-based club, that's AS Roma, before joining Liverpool. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of NILEcast Sports News. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. We'll link up again tomorrow for the same program.
Benson Pastore for the sports news and the sports highlight. And with that, we are welcome to the end of the NILEcast on Westnile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the NILEcast to the end of the NILEcast, only on Westnile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Okumringa Christine. Have a good evening.